Yanni heading Kovalainen, managing to stave him off, but I just wonder how good he's going to be at the restart here. Pantano all over the back of them. Some very, very high-quality drivers right at the front of the grid as we finally wave a fond farewell to the 14 car. Yes, thank you very much. And here we are, out on track. A little bit of juice of acceleration, a little bit less. Pace car still with the lights are flashing. I don't know whether there's still some broom work at the start-finish straight, but sooner or later we are going to be back underway here, and that is when all hell is going to break loose here. Flashing lights of the safety car still on. The field completely collected here. It's going to be a fair one. And the lights are off. It's going to be this tie. Neil Yanni, Kovalainen, Pantano and Prema. So round the field come, and Yanni has held everybody up here, and Yanni has held everybody up here. He's holding them all back. Kovalainen over the back of him, then it's Pantano, Prema, Rosberg and Viso. Yanni, here he comes. Can he take it off the line, off the front of the line here, front of the grid effectively? There he goes, all single file, and this is the scream down towards the first right-hander. And Yanni, can he hold on? Kovalainen's all over the back of him, trying to get as near as he possibly can. Can't do. He's having to defend. He's gone one way and then the next. He's down the inside, and Kovalainen's got it. Oh, he's mistaken. He's gone wide, and Yanni's come back in on him. And Kovalainen's had a nightmare, left the braking far too late. Just got a little bit of a lock, and he's been eaten, has he, by the field. He's managed to hold on, and that's a great deal of good fortune. Pantano, Prema, Rosberg and Viso all over the back of him. This is tight stuff. This is very, very quick action here. And don't forget, the tyres are not at the best, and I think that's Kovalainen on the drift there. All of a sudden, I don't know whether something's broken. We'll just have to wait and see. Yanni out front, screaming away with this one. And just look at Rosberg and Prema. They held off each other as well they might. Don't want to get into each other just for the time being. We're under green once again, and there's very little left of this race. Just 8 laps remaining, 7 to go next time around. Yoshimoto has just gone out for some strange reason. Don't know. We'll get back more on that in a few moments' time. What a restart from Yanni. He just kept his cool, didn't he? He knew exactly where his braking point was, and he wasn't going to do anything wrong whatsoever. That's Piquet Jr. He happens to be on a P8, position 8, which will start tomorrow's race. What drama right at the beginning here. Kovalainen holding spot, and just look, the movement is happening right the way through the field here. Olivier Pla on the move as well. They know about position 8, they know what it means, and Olivier Pla perhaps better than others. And Piquet Jr. runs just a little bit wide, opens the door, and through they come. Absolute field charging through. You can't do that. You not only lose the traction on the drive, but you also lose it when you come back on the course, of course. Across the line they come once again. Kovalainen did hold on to his spot, forgive me for that. It was further down the line that we were having the difficulties, and just look at them, 0.8 of a second separating most of the field, it seems. Another jink and dive down the inside, but will it stick? It does off the corner this time, thank goodness. Yanni, Kovalainen, Pantano, Prema in 4th spot, and well, so much at stake here. Classification running through for you. But for how much longer? They're nice and tightly bunched here, and I think Prema and Rosberg have just stood off each other, and their race still to come. This is the pack. This is where it all matters. A little bit further behind. They're all racing together, a couple of cars down. It's Viso in 6th spot, ahead of Olivier Pla. Jimmy Bruni in 8th place, and it's Adam Carroll in the black car that's having a crack at him now. Adam had his difficulties at the beginning of this one, and all of a sudden he finds himself potentially with a pole for tomorrow's race. It just shows you your luck can run hot and cold even throughout a race, and we've seen so many changes of fortune within a race itself, and not least the ART boys here on this day. Yanni out front, and the gap between himself and Kovalainen, who made an audacious move, just couldn't make it stick. Pantano was all over the back of him at the beginning, and at the restart, I should say. couldn't get there. That's Bruni in P8 in the 17 car with Adam Carroll fighting his way through, battling, and perhaps a little bit later on it's going to get a little bit physical. They're not afraid to push it to the absolute limit, any of these cars. And of course, when you do, and you get it a little bit wrong, you can not only end your own race, but everybody else's as well. Over the rise in this beautiful heat haze here. Nice to feel on your back. 50 Celsius on track, though, is not funny, and no wonder the drivers were trying to keep some of that cool air circulating, even if it's just around your gloves, as we saw. Yanni, the man in front, clipping off the laps one after the other, and he's expanded his lead to just 0.8 of a second. Kovalainen keeping in touch with him. There's Bruni Negrão, Piquet Jr. They'll all be hoping to move up some spots, but Piquet Jr. just seems to be on the drift a little bit, and just trying to look at the communications area there, just see whether we can read anything into the fact that it's going crazy left and right. His hands don't seem to be taking that much vibe, but the camera does actually take an awful lot of the shakes away from the drive, these stability systems that they have on the vision for you. Just otherwise you'd feel like you were having a migraine and a fit all at the same time. Thank goodness none of that. Prema in 4th spot with Rosberg in 5. That's the real story of this afternoon. The white car's there. Ahead of them, it's Yanni, Kovalainen and Pantano. Well, 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 what racing we've seen here at the Hungaroring, and fancies his chances down on the inside, gets a little lock there, and that's Bruni just getting done by Negrão. And retaking the spot. They're just going to be swapping places all over the place here. Piquet Jr. also fancies his chances, I should say. Oh dear, all positions changing. And it's all around that coveted 8th spot with Adam Carroll currently bedded in there. And as that little battle goes behind him, Adam will be very pleased indeed. He's put a 1.5 seconds between himself and the chasers, who would love that spot. Negrão and Bruni then, 0.8 of a second separating them. Well, Yoshimoto is back with us, and he is on a mission. He's just set the fastest lap. Look at that. Shows you, get in the pits, alter things just a little bit, get out there and show the rest of them a thing or two. Yoshimoto will pick up a couple of points if nobody can beat that time, and I don't think they're going to. It's a 1:34.680. Amazing. Piquet Jr. has gone. Tells its own story. Well, we saw him, and did you see the state of the tyres, his front tyres? Absolute nightmare. The grooves almost completely gone, looked like slicks. Looked like slicks from a Land Rover. Unbelievable. Well, he was having his troubles. You could see he was fighting with the car and battling it all the way, and he decided to park it somewhere nice and clean. And thank goodness. Lapierre, 23 car, is out. It was him that was having troubles earlier on. Sorry about the call, but Kovalainen tidily in 2nd place. His teammate Yanni out front. And the laps just keep ebbing away, and Yanni just keeps expanding his gap. 4 laps remaining here at the Hungaroring, and Neil Yanni is in the comfort zone here. Piquet Jr., let's have a look at it. Well, I think he just decided to park it, frankly, and probably a good thing. He was losing places after places, and you can see him just pumping the brake there just to get himself a tidy stop. An absolute promoter's dream, Piquet Jr., and a shame he didn't get the run he was looking for. Adam Carroll is in that coveted 8th spot, which will be pole for tomorrow's sprint race if he holds on to it. And there's no reason to expect that he can't, because the gap between himself and the chasers is now just about 2 seconds, 1.9 between himself and the nearest man to him, Negrão. Be great to see Adam light it up off the front row. Had his launch troubles, though, and difficult to keep your focus as well. But the young man from Northern Ireland always seems to be exactly that. That's Rosberg, and Viso fancies his spot, to say the very least. Look at him. That's mine, my friends. Not a bit of it, says Rosberg. You just wonder how much more he's got left in this car. He was absolutely on the limit right the way through this race, trying to rebuild his challenge from the back row of the grid, which he shared with his ART teammate after technical infringements in qualification. They've driven brilliantly and right the way through the field here, and find themselves, for the time being, Prema in 4th spot and Rosberg in 5th. And that is a huge hat-off thing for them. Great credit to them as another lap spins down. Just 3 to go here. It's been a thrilling day at the Hungaroring. Can't take anything away from any of the drivers here. They've all had to be absolutely on it. We were talking about the possibility of a procession. Well, that's before we should know better, really. The GP2 series always providing something of a thrill. Don't worry too much about the smoke that's coming out of that vehicle. Doesn't always mean an expiring engine. Can do, of course, but they do overfluid some of these cars for technical reasons, and as a result, you do get often a plume of sort of oily water. It is, in fact, just gets condensed on the engine head, and there it comes off, worrying everybody. So Yanni, our man out front, how often have we said that? But Kovalainen is closing on him. He's just trimmed 0.3 off him. There's only a couple of laps remaining, and he knows it's now or never, Kovalainen. Then again, he doesn't want to chuck away what would be 8 very tidy points. He also knows, of course, that Rosberg is in position 5, and the points gap, he would probably accept Kovalainen here, but he's a racer like anybody else on this track, and Kovalainen would love to take the victory just to prove his own mettle. Well, the ART boys have certainly done that. But look at this gap here. That's Yanni. That's Kovalainen. And as they cross the line, the gap with Pantano just now 0.9 as well. Pantano also joining the party. 2 laps to go, and it's gonna have to be now or never as far as Kovalainen is concerned. And that, I think, is that's Rosberg with all sorts of worries. It's Viso that's causing him the problems, holding him off. Great racing here. Viso having a look, just couldn't make it stick. Rosberg and Premat will like to finish in those positions if they possibly can. He doesn't want to let this go any worse. There's Premat. He's running in 4th place behind Pantano, and there is Rosberg ahead of Viso. And look how tight they are. Rosberg has got his work cut out. I think he's effectively worn his car out early on in this one. And look at the leaders. 0.4 now is the gap between Yanni and Kovalainen. And I think, boys, we should be back at the front here for the closing stages of this one, if we can possibly have a look at the leaders, because that is where it's going to be happening. He's not back here with Rosberg. He's wily enough to hold off Viso, perhaps. And Yoshimoto has just set the fastest lap yet again, 1:34, 1:70. Amazing stuff from Yoshimoto, and BCN just showing that they've got the car as well. He's not going to start particularly high on the grid tomorrow's sprint race, so whatever setup he's found here, it's not going to be helping him that much. These are the leaders crossing the line once more. Couple to go then, beg your pardon, final lap here. Looking at my own screens, believing my own tech, and it's not good enough. Kovalainen. Lads, we've got to get back to the leaders. It's the final lap. Rosberg and Viso, 0.326. Yes, maybe. But what I'm interested in is out front. What's happening to Yanni and Kovalainen? Just 0.6 between them. And Pantano is also challenging here and enjoying himself. There we are, thankfully, at last, back with the leaders. Yanni, 0.669 over Kovalainen. I can't see a way by. It's been absolutely amazing racing out front here. Perfect conditions, perfect racing. Yanni's going to hold on to this one, though. Opportunities to pass getting fewer and fewer. There is one last one, of course, but you've got to be very, very tight in. Oh, and Viso just gets it a little bit wrong at the back of Rosberg. What's going to happen? How did he get on the exit of that one? There's Premat tidily away. Side by side, Viso and Rosberg. And it looked Viso who'd lost the stability of the car. Viso trying it again down the inside. He's been foxing him with different lines through this one again and again. But Rosberg looks like he's going to hold on, and Viso, I think, has lost his opportunity to pass there. And out front, we told you the final curve, would it be? And Yanni takes it nice and coolly. He holds on, and look at that. What a race from Neil Yanni. Takes it in beautiful style for Racing Engineering. Kovalainen in second place. There's 0.4 of a second behind, and the battle continued right until the end. Pantano in third place. Credit to him, as well as Prema, who started on the back row of the grid. Rosberg finishing in fifth place, getting some points for himself, and Viso just could not make it any better. Pla will start on the front row of the grid, but it's Negrão who will be on pole for the sprint tomorrow. Adam Carroll just edged out right at the death. Poor old Adam, he's going to be starting a little bit further back, and he will not be pleased about that. Position 9 will be his starting spot for tomorrow's race. The top 8 will flip themselves. What a race. Get your breath time. Amazing stuff. The Hungaroring. You're not supposed to be able to pass here. Just try telling that to the ART boys. Amazing stuff. Yoshimoto gets the fastest lap, picks himself up a couple of points as well. It is a very, very busy racing weekend, not least here at the Hungaroring. My name's Carlton Kirby. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your company. We'll see you for the sprint race tomorrow. Oh dear, time to go for a sit down. It's busy stuff. We have to make way for other series. Do enjoy yourself. From me, Carlton Kirby, in the Hungaroring. Thanks for your company. We'll see you tomorrow on Eurosport 2.